Ryan, have you ever thought about being an architect?
Have you ever thought about being a truck driver?
Have you ever thought about being a salesperson?
What about something in the medical field?
Realtor? Listen to Crew Pass every Thursday
Wherever you listen to podcasts,
and on YouTube. You might learn something.
you might not.
It's your life. Make it happen.
Memories fading, we all forget those not so shiny things you do.
Career Paths.
Recording in progress.
Welcome to Career Paths by InfoNet. I'm your host, Victor Boudreau, with Mr. Ryan King. Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
What's up?
Nothing.
With our guest, Mr. Oscar Adams. Oscar, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. Everybody, how's it going?
Honestly,
Ryan, Victor.
honestly did not expect to get you on the show as soon. I figured either I'd have to visit you down in Cali or you'd have to come back and visit me, and here we are.
Finally made it. Yeah, finally. Hey, no, but I'm coming back to Spokane for a visit. You know, just
We don't right now, and so this way we'll probably get you on again. We're starting to get former guests on to update because you're going to be show like 84, 85. We have 85 episodes.
yeah.
So we've been 84, somewhere around there. Anyway, so Oscar, how's life down in Cali? How's life in general?
Life is super good. I have to say these last 5 years have been incredible for me. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
now, so
Fuck, the last 10 years, the last 20, everything's been good.
see, and you have that attitude, and that's one reason you and I bonded and clicked right away, is because life is what you make it. And so, and it's one of our models on the show. It's your life, make it happen. So you were in the military, you were in the Air Force when I met you.
That's right. I remember.
I do remember all this. I remember having you at dinner out of my parents. Remember that with one of your
Of course,
girlfriends?
yeah, multiple times. Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
So what are you doing now for your career / job / your next step in your life? Because you went military, you got out of the Air Force how many years ago now? Ish.
I got out 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. And I decided, all right, I want to use the GI Bill. I'm done with the military. It served me well. Loved it. Want to get out while it's still great before I start to hate it, because the military will squeeze you like a tube of toothpaste. Just every ounce, you're done.
Retired Air Force, and he got the good out of it too. So
Yeah. So I decided that I want to go back to school. So, because I never actually received my bachelor's while I was in the military. I tried to go to school while in it, and I thought, I can't go to school full time. I can't go to work full time at the same time. Like it's one or the other. So right now I'm working on my master's for screenwriting. So I finally found something that I really fucking want to do. Look at me, I'm a big shot. No, but yeah, shit. You know?
did you what? Ryan and I we don't go to school.
I got a master's in something, but
Yeah.
then it was in drinking, and then
We both graduated.
we did.
I have my diploma. I think I came across it recently, and I actually
no idea
did.
where mine is.
I
You
should have.
didn't roll it up and smoke it, did you? You didn't?
Funny how he brings that up. We just had interviewed a gentleman that is in the Spokane smoking business.
I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good episode.
No, we have somebody else coming up. Have another gentleman. That's yeah. So
Bunch of pushers. You guys just interviewing pushers now, huh? Is that it?
and yet we don't either one of us, we don't partake. So so real quick, let's jump back on. You're not married.
Nope.
No children.
No children, not even pets.
All good. So and you, how old are you ish? You don't have to get 30, 40, 80.
37 and a half.
And a half. Huh. So okay, so you're going for your master's for screenwriting.
Yeah.
I would not have, I'm not saying that doesn't surprise me, but it's how'd you get to go there? Where from the military to screenwriting?
Let's see, I'll give you the short and then maybe we'll consider the long, right? Let's do the opposite. I wanted to do something that I thought that if I could tell a story, right? I want to tell my life story, and what better way to actually get it on paper, you know? And since I don't know how to write, that's why I'm going to school. So I'm getting the grasp of it, but I'm far away from being a prolific writer. But yeah, I want to write television, film, want to write those messages and make a lot of money, you know?
I want to go for the pod. You and I've discussed, because we've talked many times about taking the positive spin as opposed to the negative. So much negative out there, and I understand, but it's your life. You got to figure out what you got to do to make it better. A lot of people, for some reason, can't figure that out.
It's hard, man. I'm 37 years old. I wish I would have did this when I was 18, right out of high school.
What you
I would
doing?
have skipped the military and went straight to writing and would have went into the field.
But for some reason, the progression, and I do this, me being older than you and seeing what I've gone through, sometimes you have to learn certain lessons along the way. Why? If it's predetermined, who knows? But look at the information you have now as opposed to then. Obviously, it was meant to be for you to do it this way.
Right. Yeah. It's something that just happens. Everybody has their own path, right?
Yeah, and once again, age. I never thought I'd be doing podcasts. I wanted to be a rock and roll drummer when I was a kid. I did it all my adult life up until recent. Doing this part, who would have known? But I enjoy doing it. Obviously, been doing it a couple of years now.
Yeah.
We're not making money on it, so obviously we enjoy it.
For the month, we made 57 cents. So,
Whoa!
yeah, that's more than a penny a day.
Are you holding back on me?
Oh, I haven't cashed.
Oh, okay. So your progression. So you're saying you wish you would have done 18. What did you do? You graduated high school.
Yes, I did, here in California.
Okay. What did you do out of high school? Did you go to college immediately? Did you?
You know what I did? It was 2002 and I graduated and I went straight to college. I was dating a girl.
Oh God.
My high school sweetheart, right? And she helped me get into school, and then I was working and going to school. So my first job out of high school, I was working at a car dealership.
Oh wow. What were you doing there?
Trying to sell cars. I didn't sell shit. These guys are trying to tell me to lie in order to get the sale. And, I felt uncomfortable already because I like to connect with people. I don't want to just sham them out of some dough, whatever.
I have a certain ethic that we can't. I could never lie to my customer. I'd rather build their trust knowing that they can come to me, knowing that I didn't know what was going on, but I would find out what they needed to know.
Yeah. I got a juicy story about that dealership too in Jacksonville, Florida, because remember, I graduated in high school in California, and I was supposed to go sell cars with my cousin, with another family member who's a big shot here in California. But me and my cousin, we were too bad. We just got into way too much shit, just partying. And throughout the whole senior year, my mom and dad just thought, this kid's crazy. We need to separate him from his cousin because they're a bad bunch. So my father was living in Florida at the time, and he came down for my graduation and said, hey, I already bought your plane ticket. You're not going to go work for your cousin. You guys are so bad. So you're going to come over here. And I was already doing a long distance relationship, with my ex-fiance. So I started to sell cars on my own in Jacksonville, Florida. And I only did it for a couple of weeks. I went to a party with my supervisor. This is where the shit gets bad. This fucking Colombian guy, right? This fucking Latin lover piece of shit. He throws a kegger at the beaches in Jacksonville, and he gets completely shit-faced, right? And I guess he tried to draw in my girlfriend into the bathroom and get some funny business going on. So she flipped, came running to me and said, hey, your boss just grabbed me, and I said, where is he now? So he's at the keg. Okay, so I just went over there and I beat the shit out of him. Actually, not with fists, but with slaps. I just slapped him to death in his own party. And then, so that was it. I had to quit the job because I just smacked out my supervisor. But the big GM heard about it, and we ran into each other at the mall, and he just said, anything you need, let me know. So it didn't end on bad terms.
Obviously.
I just wanted to give you that juicy story. Like, fuck, I've had to do some.
Once again, everybody goes through shit, and it doesn't. I appreciate you sharing with us as well as our listeners and watchers. Yeah. It goes through stuff, and that's part of what this show's about. But hopefully you learn a lesson along the way and be able to apply somehow whatever you learned another part of your life. So
Yeah, so that drove me away. Like, okay, selling cars is not for me. Met with some bad people. Let me continue. So I started delivering pizzas for Domino's while going to Florida Community College at Jacksonville. Long name, right?
Mhm.
And so shit, I wanted to be an architect. So I started taking engineering courses. They were super hard for me and a bunch of math. So I kept going these routes. I would change my major over the years, but you know, little things like that. That's what really pushes you. You try something out, it doesn't work.
that's, once again, you kept trying. That's once again, I feel like I'm being the old guy, which I am, but you kept trying. You didn't give up. Okay, this isn't for me. Okay, what else can I do? Or what else should I do? Or yeah, it's the lesson that should be taught is don't give up on whatever just because you're not good at it. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has a talent, whether you're physically challenged, mentally challenged. Hello.
Yeah, me.
You got him on that one.
What? But we all have a talent, and that's the thing. Sometimes you got to find it. Hopefully, it's one that you can enjoy. But everybody has. I believe that firmly because I've seen it with all of my personal experiences. So,
Well, I want to say, I think more so when we were younger, it was you get out of college or get out of high school, like go to college and you get a good career, and it's
then you have a family. Then you
you have these steps. There was no go try this, and if you don't like it, then try a different job and try this other job. And this is one of the things that I think we need to get across nowadays, especially when you're young and just get out of high school. Go try things.
Yeah, experience.
You have 18 jobs in a year.
You've experienced, you lived and learned what you actually. I, on the other hand, I was afforded because of my family, my parents, why I became a rock and roll drummer. And like I said, up until a couple of years ago, that's what I've done all my life. I knew I was going to be rich and famous back then, or recently. But when I was a kid, I was afforded that because my parents said, "Is that what you want to do?" I'd say, "Yeah, okay." They didn't know how I was going to do it, but they afforded me that. Whereas like, you're going to go to school? No, I want to do this. Okay. I went on the road. I've had different jobs between gigs and whatever situation, but that's what I was afforded that to. From age 10, I wanted to be a rock and roll drummer. And I've been fortunate to, at this point in my life, I was on the road, traveling to cover bands, rock and roll. I've done albums, some stuff you can find online if you really want. But I only missed one holiday with family and my parents. And that was a Thanksgiving. Christmases, birthdays, anniversaries, I got to be all with my family. Whereas some of the big bands like Van Halen, Journey of our old days, they're on the road all the time. They don't get to experience. That's why I have so many breakups with marriages and so on. So anyway.
Hey, that's pretty impressive though. I mean, more people that haven't been in, bands have missed more family gatherings than that, So good on you. And it shows that you're a doer. You're not somebody that wants to be a.
It hasn't been easy. I've had this one person and that thought it was easy. Well, you've just had an easy life. Everything, you always land on your feet. I go, options are what?
Yeah.
Options are what? For me to stop trying? And once again, I was just a drummer. I put together the situations. I got fortunate. I found the right people to do it several times and never became rich or famous. But looking back, I still did things I wanted to do. Once again, albums. I got to perform in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people over the years. I've done big gigs. I've did little gigs where no one's there in a bar. But find what you love or find what you like and try it when you're young. What would you lose? You have nothing to lose besides experience and finding what you really are good at. So as I ramble, I apologize, but I knew it was going to be one of those shows. Damn you, Oscar.
Hey, no, I like it, man. I like the story. I like the background.
I don't usually go into it as much, and for some reason, because you and I have a history, and obviously Ryan and I have a history.
Hey, the people deserve to know the backstory of you guys.
We still haven't done it yet. Where we were going to interview. I think I've interviewed you. Not yet. We really haven't. Yeah, we've just touched on basics with each other for our listeners. Why? We did interview why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So anyway, we might have to do that show. And that one guy we keep talking about getting on, that Shock Warrior guy.
Yeah.
We keep talking about getting that guy that's crazy. He's like a mascot for this football team. Yeah, we keep talking about getting this guy on, but we haven't got him on yet. There's some issues with that. Some challenges.
Besides challenges.
It's going to be great. I think you should definitely do that one.
So, okay, so you did all this as I interrupt. Where from the after the car dealership and you the GM saying, hey, you need anything? What'd you do after that? Where'd you go?
So I started delivering pizzas, which was a great side gig. Did that for years, and then I would pick up second jobs. So let's see, I've worked for Lowe's as a forklift operator. You know, I've worked at the Cheesecake Factory as valet parking, which was great. They gave me a lot of experience. Yeah, I started to count the cars. Like, how many different cars have I driven in my life?
Yeah.
Once I got past 200, I just stopped counting. You know, I thought, whatever. I'm a seasoned vet now. I've driven every kind of car there is. So it was kind of a good feeling. But that job tried to take my tips. They
Oh.
wanted us to submit our tips. So basically, put it this way: you make $20 in tips. They take the 20 and give you back $3. Does that sound fucking ethical? Hell no. So I quit that job, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I quit that.
Unless they're paying me $20 an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after these miscellaneous, when did you decide to join the Air Force? How'd that come about?
So my dad was in the Air Force and he always tried to get me to go in. So from the ages of 14 to 22 or something. Come on, son, you know, you want to go to the Air Force just like me. I loved it. It's great. And I'm like, you know what, Dad, I wanted to go. I don't no longer want to go because my dumbass, right, was kids think, oh yeah, I'm going to graduate at 22 with my bachelor's and get a entry-level position making 80,000 a year starting and then work my way up to past 100. You know, it's all fucking fantasy because it's so easy to say it. Then when you try it and it doesn't work,
Yeah, there's
then things can go downhill. But that's fucking expectations of life, you know? So I decided, I went through the whole roommate stage. After me and my ex broke up, I was 23 and we broke up, right? Gonna get married, broke it up. Then the friends started moving in, then just I started going through that phase, you know, kicking people out, you know, partying too much. And then finally I thought, I have got to do something about this. I got into a bad fight. I got my ass kicked and ended up in the hospital.
Good.
Got my skull fractured, and then that's, you know, it was very serious. So I thought, okay, I need to do some self reflection, some soul searching. You know what I did? Ended up like, you know, crying to my parents, like, you know, broke up with my ex, you know,
A lot of track. Yeah.
doing drugs and drinking and partying and don't know what I'm doing with my life. And so my parents, and I say my parents, I mean my dad and my stepmom, they had a getaway trailer, right? They have a home, they have a getaway home, and I asked them for the keys so I could just get away. I
Sure.
lied to everybody but my parents and said, I'm going to be here. I'm going to soul search. I'm going to figure out what's bothering me, what's making me what makes me like snap at people so quickly. So I did this soul searching shit. And I thought, wow, you know what? Maybe my parents, you know, my real mother and real father fighting when I was a kid, that did have an effect on me. That actually, you know, I incorporated my mother's rage. You know how usually you get your father's rage?
No,
I
but my father. Go
I got
ahead.
my mother's rage. Yeah. And then all the getting picked on as a kid and all the fights. And I thought, shit, you know what? I need to just forgive myself, fucking pat on the back. It's not your fault. Let it all go. And
Yeah.
honestly, the weights fell off.
Nice.
And then with a clear mind, I thought, all right, what do I want to do with my life? And that's when I actually chose, all right, you know what? I do want to go into the Air Force,
Nice.
you know, and I do want to be, I was pretty good at math. So I became a math tutor. So I
Oh.
worked as a math tutor and I worked at UPS at the same time.
Wow.
And then I decided it was 2010. I finally got in
Okay.
and it
Wow.
was great.
That's funny is your father always wanted you to follow him in his footsteps. My father never wanted any of us, the four boys, my brothers and myself, the four boys, ever to follow in his, because he wanted us to follow our own dreams. That's once again, just to add on to my story when you bring that up. But
And he did two things. Was he cattle ranching and
he,
working?
no, he out of high school, he ended up going to the Navy. Well, his brother, he was from Boston, back east. Yeah, we're going to be running a two-parter easy. Dad was in Boston. He was like 17, had nothing going on. His brother basically took him down to the Navy, recruiter, enlisted him in the Navy. He was in the Navy for 4 years. Still lost it. He got out of the Navy for a short time. I can't remember how long. Basically, he figured out, I got nothing. He re-enlisted into the Air Force, and it ended up being last class of OCS, which is Officer Cadet training school. He was in the last class. My father was not college educated, but he was he was an officer when he retired. He was an officer when I was born, I think, by then. So he was dealt with money. But then when he retired after 20 years, that's when mom and him and the family moved out to the farm that they're at now. Our mom's still at.
Nice.
So that was their dream. That was dad and mom's dream castle. That was, I mean, there's a picture of Ryan who's been out there and done so much. From the back porch, you can see Mount Spokane. It's one of the beautiful views.
Yeah.
That was his palace, and he fortunately died there. But yeah, anyway,
Funny man, he great person. Yeah.
sarcastic. But he never wanted any of us to follow into that. If we did, so be it. But he never pushed. He never. It's like, once again, I got to follow my dreams, and it's because he did not. He had no idea. There's no way he could have followed. He wanted to get into cars and automotive.
He didn't drag you by the collar and said, "All right, you're gonna start coal mining, boy.
Not
Gonna get the black lung like your pop. Show you how to be a man."
I was afforded to follow my dreams because I think mom and him were not able to. So once again, we weren't given money. My parents didn't go, here, well, we had to go out and still make money to live while I tried to, even when I sometimes was playing in bands. For the last 10, 20 years, I had a day job, go play on weekends, have fun. So it was never, they gave me money. They just said, is that what you want to do? They never told us what we had to do. They try to give us advice, but they knew we were their kids. They knew that we were stubborn. We'd have to learn ourselves the hard way sometimes.
Yeah. How's your mom, by the way?
Mom is doing very well. Mom is
Good.
doing. I'll tell her you said hi.
Yeah, please do.
I'll send you some pictures.
That'd be great. Yeah. Ryan, how are your parents?
Hold on. How are your parents?
They're well.
Okay.
Doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You'll meet them.
Someday you will.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that'd be great.
So what was it you did in the Air Force?
I went in as a mechanic, shop mechanic for the units that go towards the jet. So I was not a jet engine mechanic like my father. He was a crew chief, but I was, it's called Aerospace Ground Equipment Apprentice. You know, they have these long fucking names. You know, all I wanted to do was some NASA shit, advanced fucking aerodynamic, aeronautical stuff. And it's like, no, you're going to be basically a glorified Jiffy Luber. We need you to change the oils on these 60-year-old carts. So you know what I did? And
What's funny about that is my father was the officer in charge that signed off for the crew chiefs that did all the work. My dad knew what his job was. He didn't take credit for it. He knew that the guys like your dad were the guys that did the work.
yeah,
Anyway.
that's right. Oh, and then so 3 years of that, and then I had an opportunity to take, wasn't a promotion, it was like a side promotion, unit deployment managing, which was really great because I got to send people to Afghanistan or Kyrgyzstan. So that was cool. Then I moved up in the world somewhat.
Yeah, and that, you were in Spokane at that point.
Yes, I was. Yeah, the whole time, all 5 years in Spokane, and then
Stationed up here.
yeah, it was great. 6 years total.
You do this. We're already halfway through the show, and we're gonna have to cut it right now for the first episode. I knew you were gonna be. You talked way too much.
No, I could tell you anything. We could talk about my time in Afghanistan, or swing range, don't matter.
Just so that we're gonna let everybody else know. Thank you for listening. Career Paths by InfoNet. I'm your host, Vic Boudreau, Ryan King, Oscar Adams, our guest. Oscar, hold on. We're not going anywhere, but you're not going anywhere. Listen, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. It's your life. Make it happen. Till the next episode, second half with Oscar.
Nice.
Go downhill. I warn you
Do
now.
part 2. Do I need to fake it and change shirts and pretend this is a different week? All right.
That's up.
Ashes to ashes.
Okay.
Take 24. La, 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 la.
Career Path.